9440. 4405. 944405. 19.
All right, welcome back, crime fighters, for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place by helping us lock up the bad guys. I'm Chris Wright, along with our sheriff, Matthew Wade. Good to see you, Sheriff.
Always good to be on the show, Chris. Nice, hot, good sunny weather.
We have had some hot and sunny weather, and it's gotten people out on the water here, and a lot of people having fun. Some people, it doesn't turn out so great.
No, we've had some people that got injured. We've also had a lot of complaints, especially out in White Plains. There's a watershed out there that's owned by the Anniston Water Works and Board. And people have swam out there for many years. There's probably grandparents telling their kids, all these people who swam out there for years, but it's illegal. You can't swim in that watershed.
There's a reason it's illegal.
It's dangerous, and it's also drinking water for the city of Anniston. Now, the Anniston Water Authority or Board will let you buy a permit for $5 to go out there and fish. You can fish on the bank, or you can fish in a boat, and there's some rules about it, but we're posting on our Facebook page the actual rules. But the only way you can be on their property is to have that permit. And if you're not fishing, you can't be there. You can't go camp, you can't have bonfires, you can't hang out. And what our concerns are is that there's been a lot of underage drinking going on and kids that's driving to and from out there, driving recklessly. There's some videos been sent to us by local homeowners, property owners, where kids are passing in curves, driving down the road. They're drinking out there, leaving a bunch of trash. And even though you and your family might have swum in that place for many years, it's illegal, and the sheriff's office is cracking down on that. We're going to be out there numerous times throughout the day to make sure that nobody's out there doing something they're not supposed to. While it might seem like we're packing fun up and making it leave, but there's a reason. It's dangerous, and we don't want to see anybody hurt, drown, or get killed. We just last week, out of another Anniston watershed, Hillaby, a person was fishing and fell in and drowned, unfortunately. And we want people to be safe, and unsupervised teenagers do not need to be going out to the White Plains watershed and swimming. It's illegal. They're going to get in trouble. Parents don't allow them to do that. So for a while people didn't know if it was illegal or not, but it's illegal. We checked with them, and we're posting those rules on our Facebook page.
All right. We want to say thank you to our viewers for helping us find 7 more individuals this past week.
Never let us down. Brings our count up to 4,407 people put in jail, all because somebody was willing to help us.
All right, we'll have this week's lineup, the first half of it anyway, coming up when we come back after this commercial break here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Let's get started with this week's lineup here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. We begin with Michael Goins of East Aboga, wanted on a failure to appear warrant for theft by deception, first degree. Timothy Thompson of Bessemer is wanted on a failure to appear warrant for possession of marijuana, second degree, and use of possession of drug paraphernalia. Jennifer Thomas of New Brockton is wanted on a failure to appear warrant for third degree burglary. Devin Weber of Piedmont wanted on bond revocations for possession of marijuana, first degree, and possession of a controlled substance. Jamie Elliott of Piedmont wanted on a probation violation for obstruction of justice using a false identity. Samantha Hill Fleming of Anniston wanted on a probation violation for possession of a controlled substance. And Alfonso Phillips of Jacksonville wanted on a failure to appear warrant for first degree robbery. If you have information about any of these individuals, please call Calhoun County Crime Stoppers at 256-238-1414. We'll have the second half of this week's lineup coming up in just a few minutes. All right, we'll have the second half of the lineup coming up in just a few minutes. But Sheriff, right now we want to welcome a couple of guys onto the show that are doing some good things here in town.
Doing some good things for others, serving others.
Got, Calvin Jones and Philip Keith from the Anniston Fatherhood Initiative. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are both of you actual fathers in real life?
Yes. We are.
All right. Well, congratulations.
grandfather.
We are as well.
Yep.
So we got 4 fathers here on the show, and fatherhood is so important.
Yes.
It's a big thing that kind of gets overlooked sometimes with motherhood and all that, but fatherhood is absolutely just as important. We'll be talking about that in a second. But first, let's mention an event that you've got coming up, because it's going to be here real soon.
Sure. Yes, we have a
fundraising event. It's our annual fundraiser event. It's on June 14th at the Anniston Meeting Center. We're having a father, family, friends, and children banquet in which Mr. Anthony Cook of the Anniston Star will be the speaker at this event. And it's on Friday, June 14th at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Anniston Meeting Center.
All right, so we enjoy some good food and fellowship.
Yes, some good food, fun, fellowship, and music as well.
And raising some money to continue the good work that Anniston Fatherhood Initiative is doing. Calvin, what is that good work? What is this initiative all about?
Well, this is about the 5th year now that we have taken a group of young boys to Camp Lee, and we have a retreat there in which we spend a full day, spend a night, a half a day the next day, and we just kind of mentor the young boys. And we have fishing, we have swimming, we have zip lining, and so we feed them. And then the next day, what we do is we break off into classes, and we kind of mentor them and teach them some life skills. And it costs money for us to do these things. So this year we're excited because we're expecting close to 100 young boys in our community to participate, and the men in the Fatherhood Initiative will be the fathers on those 2 days.
So important, Sheriff, to get these kids. Not everybody's in a situation that's bad at home, but we all have things that we can get in other situations that we don't necessarily get in our home, even if it's just within ourselves, getting into a slightly different environment. Opportunities like this to have different men and father figures mentoring to these kids is so important.
Nothing replaces that interaction with children. I mean, that is the most important thing. As being a parent, you know, people say, well, I don't know how. You just be with them. You love on them, you teach them, you correct them, you love on them, you instill in them that they're important, that you care about them. That is so much more important than things you can give them. And
I've become hyper aware here recently. My oldest has just graduated high school, and you're aware of this situation as well. And yeah, Reese has got 2 good homes. We got, it comes from a split family, and he's got 2 good homes. And with each of those homes, he's got a good family support system. But even with all that, I've become really aware as he's graduating that there were so many more people touching his life, and how important each of those people were that took the time to do things like this for him. As much as we tried to give him at home, in both of his homes and with both of his big families, it still took so many more people in the community to really make him the man that he is, and especially in the homes where they don't have as many people with as much time to focus on them. It becomes even more important. The work that you're doing is going to affect lives in a big way.
It's impressionable, and what we want to do, the men that are in the Fatherhood Initiative, we want to impress and we want to be the examples and set the examples for these young men. You would be surprised to know the things that we might say or we might do that they'll remember for the rest of their lives. I know that when I was 8, 9, and 10 years old, my uncles and I was raised in a single family by a single mother, and so she realized at the age of 10, 11 years old, the man-child needed a male image to impress upon him. So she put my uncle on me. And my uncle was a carpenter, a master carpenter. And the things that he taught me, the life skills he taught me are still with me this day. That's what we want to do in the Fatherhood Initiative.
And with me, it's personal why I'm involved with the Anniston Fatherhood Initiative. I grew up in Anniston. I grew up in a single parent home. I grew up in public housing. So that's why it's very vital to me and very important to me to pour into the young people who don't have a father just like I had and who live in public housing and the surrounding community to be a part of their life and make an impact in their life like my coach did or my teacher did. So that's why it's very vital and important to me personally to make an impact in the young people's lives.
All right. Well, we need to take a quick break, but we want to talk some more about the initiative and the event coming up here. We'll do that when we return on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. All right, here we go with the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Tina Mosley of Ohatchee is wanted on a failure to appear warrant for possession of a controlled substance, use and possession of drug paraphernalia, and illegal possession of prescription drugs. Juan Dominguez of Anniston wanted on a probation revocation for violation of domestic violence protection order. Tamara Gibson of Oxford wanted on a probation revocation for possession of a forged instrument, forgery second degree, identity theft, and theft of property first degree. John Bennett of Selma wanted for distribution of a controlled substance. Hunter Bennett of Oxford wanted on a failure to appear warrant for breaking and entering a vehicle. Heather Pruitt of Jacksonville wanted on a probation violation for possession of a controlled substance. If you have any information about anyone in this video, please call Calhoun County Crime Stoppers at 256-238-1414. You could get a cash reward of up to $1,000, and we want your information, not your name. Crime Stoppers segment of the show here in just a few minutes, and we'll talk about our crazy criminal of the week. But right now we're talking about the Anniston Fatherhood Initiative. And so Calvin and Philip, we appreciate you coming on the show and talking about this. We appreciate you getting involved with these kids. And I know that you want this initiative. You're very positive about what's going on, and you want it to grow. It's got to grow in a couple of ways, though, doesn't it? You got to have more kids involved, and for that you got to have more men involved.
That's true. That's true. What we want to do is we want to encourage, and I guess we're soliciting for men out there to become a part of the Fatherhood Initiative. It doesn't cost anything to become a part. We have monthly meetings. In fact, we have a meeting tonight at this evening at 5 o'clock. And at that meeting, we discuss what our plans are and what we're going to do. So we want to encourage the men out there, the fathers out there, the grandfathers out there to become a part of the Fatherhood Initiative. We have a great group of men that are very dedicated, and so we encourage you. We can never have enough. And so we also want to encourage mothers especially and parents out there. Send your kids. Let us mentor your kids. Let us spend some time with your kids and teach some life skills and help them to help you to raise their children.
Philip, are there specific categories of, I mean, we don't like to categorize people too much, but are there any specific areas of kids that you're trying to reach out to, or is this something you just want as many kids as want to be involved and their parents want them to be involved?
Yes, we're targeting low income and kids in single parent homes, but of course we don't turn no children or no kids away. But we're talking low income and kids that need fathers or mentors in their life, and then we try to work with those children and make an impact in their lives, whether it be taking fishing. We go to the homecoming football game. We go to JSU football game. We allow them volunteer opportunities. We volunteer at the MLK prayer breakfast. We volunteer with the Habitat for Humanity. We do a lot of volunteering opportunities, and it's also a good social support group for men. Right now we have about 20 to 25 men that meet, and we meet on the third Tuesday of every month at 5 o'clock p.m. at the Glen Addy Training Center at the Anniston Housing Authority main office. So we encourage all young people as well as men who want to get involved in making a difference and an impact.
Sheriff, you see this making a difference every day, don't you?
Absolutely. You know, first you got to have the want to. You got the want to, you can change somebody's life. Even one life is one life changed, and that one life changed countless lives. So.
Well, let's talk about the event again. We've got the banquet fundraiser coming up. It's going to be so important to be able to keep doing what you're doing. When is that again, and how do we get involved?
The event will be Friday, June 14th at the Anniston Meeting Center at 7 o'clock p.m. And we asking soliciting men or children and their families, anybody from the community to come to that event. Tickets are $25 per ticket. We have a speaker, we have music, we have door prize, we have other activities at this event, but also it's helping sponsor a kid to the camp league, or sponsor a kid to the football game. At the football game, we get their ticket. We also pay for their food at the game, and it's a good opportunity if you can donate, whatever you want to do to get involved with the Anniston Fatherhood Initiative. We invite you to get involved.
If nothing else, it tells each of these kids somebody cares about me. Somebody's taking me to a football game. Somebody's taking me to Camp Lee and giving me a chance to go fishing and canoeing and run the zip line or whatever you're doing out there and all those things. And you know, a lot of times in our society today, we've got a bunch of kids that are brought up, everything's about me, 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 me. But we also have a bunch of kids in our society today that feel like nobody ever pays attention to me.
That's true.
And that is so sad when a child doesn't get that personal attention. We've got people that want to give them that attention. They just don't always meet up. And this is a way they can do it.
Well, we try to do that, and we, like I said before, we have a great group of men who are stepping up to the plate and who want to lead by example, and that's what we're about. By the way, I want to add a little footnote to that. The banquet on the 14th is going to be some great food. We're really going to go all out at the Anderson Meeting Center, and we encourage everyone to come and be a part of this great fun event. And I think it'll touch the hearts of a lot of people.
All right, real quick, if anybody wants to find out more about the Anderson Fatherhood Initiative, how do they get in touch?
The telephone number is 256-236-1575, extension 123. Again, that's 256-236-1575, extension 123.
Great. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Hope you have a great banquet. I'm sure you will.
Thank you.
And lots of fun with these kids.
Thank you.
We will be back in just a moment. We'll have the Crime Stopper segment of the show and our Crazy Criminal of the Week on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. All right, it's time for the Crime Stoppers segment of the show. On May 24th, a home was found burglarized on Jackson Trace Road in Ohatchee. A pink and black tool bag with assorted tools was taken. On May 20th, 2 businesses were burglarized on Big Valley Drive in Alexandria. Damage was found to the doors and the cash registers. A pink piggy bank with currency was taken from one business. On May 23rd, a burglary was reported at a residence on Mark Green Road in Jacksonville. A red toolbox and its contents, along with a mannequin, were taken. On May 16th, an unknown person entered the garage of a home located on Old Chocolaca Road in Anniston. Numerous food items were taken, along with a Stihl chainsaw, Stihl weed eater, Poulan chainsaw, and a red gas can. On May 25th, an outside storage building was found to have been burglarized at a residence on Lindsay Circle in Hobson City. Stolen were 2 compact AK-47 firearms with no stock. Between May 11th and May 15th, a utility trailer loaded with scrap metal was stolen from a residence on Rock Springs Road in Glencoe. And on May 27th, the burglary was reported at a residence on Highway 78 East in Anniston. A kitchen faucet, a toilet seat, and a Craftsman lawnmower trailer were stolen. If you have any information about these cases or others, please contact Calhoun County Crime Stoppers at 256-238-1414.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
All right, so our crazy criminal this week, Sheriff, is from Raleigh, North Carolina. Melinda Reeves is the individual, and she was accused of shoplifting about $17 worth of items from Walmart. And they saw her go out into the parking lot, but they didn't see her leave. And they couldn't find her. They went back and looked at the video of where she came in, and they realized her car didn't leave, but they were able to find her car, and they noticed the trunk was slightly open. So they've been looking for a while now. She's in the back of her trunk hiding from them. Now, of course, it got a little bit hot. So to cool herself off, she poured Mountain Dew all over herself.
You know, one, I'm claustrophobic. You get me in the trunk of nowhere, but I just tell you, people, a sticky situation, isn't it?
Yeah. Can you imagine? I've got to put her in the back seat of the squad car or what?
Luckily, in the law enforcement world, there's things called seniority, and being the sheriff, you're normally the topper end of that. So there's other people that you can say, hey, you need to take her to jail. Yeah, the newest guy would have to take her to jail. So.
Spent a couple hours cleaning out the vehicle afterwards.
Yeah.
All right, well, That's all the time that we've got for this week. We thank you for joining us. We appreciate your information. And if you've got some more to share, please call that in. We will be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup or in the trunk of your car, doused in Mountain Dew on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.